Hi, once again, welcome to Photon Academy, online educational channel. The previous session, we have seen the summary of the concepts related to the vectors. Let us have the revision of some more topics related to the vectors. In this session, let us have a revision of the dot product. So, dot product or scalar product. Scalar product. Suppose two vectors a bar dot b bar, vectors a bar dot b bar is defined as magnitude of a bar into magnitude of b bar into cos of the angle between them. That is, if a bar is one vector, b bar is another vector, theta is the angle between them, then this will be the dot product. Okay? And this product is, end product is a scalar quantity. Okay? Hence, we call it as a scalar product. Clear? And remember, if two vectors are given, let us say, first vector is a bar, ax I bar plus ay j bar plus az k bar, where I, j, k are the completely the unit vectors along x, y, z directions. X, y, z direction. Clear? X, y, z directions. And ax, ay, az are components of a bar along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis. Similarly, b bar vector is given. This is b bar, bx, I bar, by, j bar, bz, k bar, where ij, k are unit vectors along xyz direction. Bx, by, bz are the components of b bar along x, y, z axis. In such a case, the dot product is simply given as a bar dot b bar is simply, in that case, is the multiplication of these two factors, ax into bx, because I bar dot I bar is 1, and ay into by, ay into by, plus az into bz, az into bz. Since j bar is 1, k bar dot k bar. If I multiply, it will lead to this result. Clear? This is the simple revision of the dot. Clear? Now, let us see the cross product. Cross product or vector product. Vector product. We call it as a vector product. If two vectors are given, a bar and b bar, two vectors, angle between them theta is given, then the cross product is simply defined as a bar cross b bar is nothing but magnitude of A, magnitude of A bar, magnitude of B bar, magnitude of A into magnitude of B bar, sine theta, where theta is the angle between these two. And unit vector, unit vector, unit vector. This unit vector shows direction. This AB sine theta indicates magnitude. Unit vector indicates direction. This is A bar cross B bar. And that vector is always perpendicular to the plane containing A bar and B bar. This is A bar cross B bar. Perpendicular to the plane. This is A bar, this is B bar, and this is the A bar cross B bar. Okay. If this is A bar, this B bar, it may be in downward direction also. It depends upon the right hand thumb rule. We have seen that the direction is always given by the right hand. Finger should be pointed out along the vector. Then you have to curl the towards which vector you need the cross product. A bar cross B bar. Along A bar fingers you have to put straighten. Then curl it towards B bar. Then right hand thumb will be the upward direction that shows the A bar cross B bar direction. Clear? This is the simple revision of the concept. Clear? This indicates magnitude, magnitude, and this indicates direction, direction. Okay. Now observe. That means magnitude of A bar cross B bar modulus is AB sine theta. Here only we are interested in magnitude. We are interested only it is magnitude. Magnitude. Clear? Of A bar cross B. Clear? N bar, N cap, unit vector, unit vector, unit vector gives direction. Gives direction. Direction. Direction is given by right hand thumb rule. This is direction. Okay, this is about A bar cross B bar. Observe. Suppose if you need A bar cross B bar product, A bar is one vector, AX I bar plus AY A bar plus AZ A bar. B bar is another vector in the vector form, BX I bar, BY J bar, BZ K bar. Then always remember A bar cross B bar is given as determinant of I bar J bar K bar. Coefficients of first vector AX AY AZ. AX AY AZ. Coefficients of second vector BX BY B. That's all. You find out the determinant, you can easily get the A bar cross B bar. Okay? And remember, end product of the cross product is a vector. Hence, it is called as vector product. Okay. Now, observe. The third thing is to find out angle between two vectors. If you need the angle between the two vectors, angle between the two vectors, suppose vectors are given. A bar is one vector given. Okay. B bar is another vector. A bar is AX, I bar, AY, J bar, plus AZ, K bar. B bar is BX, I bar, BY, J bar, BZ, K bar. Two vectors are given. To find out the angle between them, observe carefully. This is one vector, A bar. This is another vector, B bar. Two vectors are given. Theta is the angle between them. We need to find out what is this theta. Clear? In such a case, it is better to use dot product. Dot product can be dot product can be used easily. What is dot product? You know, A bar dot B bar is magnitude of A bar vector, magnitude of B bar vector, multiplication, cos of the angle between them. Now I need the theta. So cos theta here is just take this term this side, A bar dot B bar by magnitude of A bar, magnitude of B. That's all. This is the theta. Cos inverse of, you will get the entire. It is better to follow the cos theta dot product. You can also find out in other way also. Suppose if you make use of, if vector cross product is used, if cross product is used to find out angle between vectors. Then what is the cross product? A bar cross B bar. Okay. Then just magnitude you take, that's all. Magnitude modulus of A bar cross B bar. Magnitude of A bar, magnitude of B bar, multiplication sin theta. We are not taking the direction. From this, directly we can find out sin theta is magnitude of A bar cross B bar by product of magnitudes of A bar and B bar. This way also theta can be found. Okay. Now these are the features related to the, some salient features related to the dot product, cross product, and the angle between the two vectors. Okay. Now, observe the fourth parameter here I would like to discuss is fourth parameter here I would like to discuss is if number of forces are given, if number of forces are given, the resultant can be found out. The resultant can be found. Okay. Observe. Number of forces are given. We are interested in the resultant. Clear? Now, here, suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Clear? Origin. Let us say there is a one force F1 making angle theta. There is another force F2 making an angle theta 2 with x-axis. Let us say there is another force F3 making an angle theta 3 Let us say that there is another force F4 making an angle theta 4 with x-axis. Like that, if number of forces are given and angles with respect to the x-axis or else with y-axis also, whatever it may be. If angles with respect to x or y are given, in such a case, there are 3 steps to find out the result. What is the first step? I summarize. Resolve. First step here I am writing. First step is, here I am writing. First step 1. Resolve all the forces into the components. Horizontal component and vertical component. So, along x-axis, along y-axis. So, resolve. First step is resolve each force into components. Means you can split the F1 into theta is given, theta 1 is given. So along x-axis, along y-axis. Similarly, F2, theta 2 is given along x-axis and along y-axis. Horizontal component along x-axis, vertical component along y-axis. Like that, for each force, you have to split them into the component along x and y-axis. Along x and y-axis. The first step. Now, come to the second step. The second step, sum up or add all the x components of forces. That is the component of all F1, F2, F3, F4 like that. You have split into the x component. Sigma of all the forces along x-axis. First one. Similarly, add sum up or add all the y components of forces. That is here sigma of Fy. This is the second step. And be careful. Whenever you are resolving a force, in summing up, you have to take magnitude as well as direction also into consideration. Suppose if a force is like this, it is making angle with the positive x-axis, then x component is F1 cos theta. If it is showing positive direction, give positive direction plus sign along with magnitude. Similarly, suppose a force F2 like this, if it is making theta with x-axis, okay. Suppose it's the horizontal component is coming, let us say in splitting along the negative x-axis, then it will be minus. So in summing up, be careful, very careful. In summing up, have the clarity that magnitudes along with direction sum up, whatever the net result you are getting, that will be the sigma fx with sign, magnitude and sign. Similarly, the net effect, net result with magnitude and sign, you will get in this sigma Fy also. Clear? That's the second step. And the third step is, okay. Now, example, here I am taking example. Observe. Suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is negative x-axis, so negative y-axis horizon. Suppose if you have got sigma fx, some with positive sign towards positive axis. Similarly, if you got the y component sum sigma fy with positive sign, then simply its resultant will be f. That is the resultant. Okay, that resultant will be f is equal to resultant, and that f is equal to square root of sigma fx square plus sigma fy square. And be careful, its direction. Direction is, suppose if it is making theta, this f is making theta with x-axis, then simply draw a parallel line here, construct a right angle triangle, sigma fy, parallel to this y-axis. Then in this right angle triangle, direction tan theta is opposite side by adjacent, sigma fy by sigma x. This is direction of resultant. Direction of resultant. This is magnitude of resultant. Magnitude. Okay, this is the way. Suppose, have the clarity in the concept. Suppose this is x-axis positive, negative x-axis, positive y-axis, negative y-axis, y bar horizon. Suppose in summing up, let us say you have got sigma fx as minus sign. Magnitude quantity you got and sign is showing, summing up, negative sign is showing. So put that vector towards negative x-axis. Negative x-axis. Suppose sigma y also if you have got as the negative only, then sigma y should be with along negative side towards negative y-axis, sigma y. Then its resultant will be in this third quadrant. Be careful, this third. That means while taking up the showing up the sigma fx vector, sigma fy vector, not only magnitudes, its signs, directions also should be taken into consideration. Once you have taken, you plot in whichever quadrant they are coming along with the direction. Then again the same formula. The resultant is plot this parallel here, draw a parallel line, use the triangle. This is sigma fy. So in this right angle triangle, simply the resultant is f here. So f is equal to again sigma fx square sigma fy square sigma fy square and a root. Okay, resultant. And direction is, if make the, be careful about the triangle and the quadrant along with the signs. Suppose if theta is making with negative x-axis, then tan theta is in this triangle opposite side sigma fy by sigma fx. Theta always with respect to f, the resultant f with respect to the resultant f, with respect to always negative x-axis, x bar axis. Reference we have taken with respect to the f's, reference with respect to negative axis. That is the direction. Clear? That is direction. This is direction. Be careful in reference point. This is magnitude. Clear? Now, fifth point, let me revise this. Usage of sine rule. Sine rule. To find out the direction, we can make use of sine rule also. Observe, suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is horizon. Let us say this is the fx vector, this is fy vector along positive y-axis. The resultant is in between them, f. Okay. If the resultant is making theta angle with positive x-axis, then I can construct a triangle here parallel to a fy. So a bar plus b bar is a plus b bar. Fx bar plus fy bar is f bar. Is the triangle. So this theta just now we have calculated by making use of tan. You can simply make use of sine rule also. What is sine rule? This sine rule also you can make use. This is the triangle. Okay. Clear? This is the triangle. So here before applying this, I am explaining the sine rule. Sine rule according to sine rule. Okay. Observe, if this is a bar vector, this is a b bar vector. If this is a plus b bar vector, a plus a bar plus b bar vector. Clear? These are the three vectors. If the angle between them, if the angle between them, let us say this a bar plus b bar is c bar I am indicating. And the angle between them, if you know, this is alpha, if this is beta, if this is gamma. The clarity. Okay. Again, once again, I'm putting a bar, b bar, a bar plus b bar, that is c bar, and directly I'm indicating. If this is angle between c bar and a bar is alpha, angle between a bar and b bar is beta, angle between b bar and c bar is gamma. Then according to sine rule, okay, according to sine rule, a by magnitude of a bar vector by this opposite. What is the angle? This angle, sine gamma. Similarly, b. This is the b, magnitude of b vector. Opposite angle is what? Sine alpha. C. Opposite angle is what? Beta. Sine beta. All these are magnitudes. A, B, C, magnitudes of the A bar, B bar, and C bar. So from this, by equating any of these two, either you can equate first two, or you can equate second two. Okay, by equating any of these two, once any of the angle is known, remaining angle can be easily found. Yeah, and this you can make use in the parallelogram law. What is the parallelogram law? Observe the parallelogram law. In parallelogram law, what is the parallelogram law? So this is a bar vector. Clear? This is a bar vector. This is a b bar vector. Clear? And the resultant is in between them. This is the resultant. Making the angle between the a bar and b bar is theta. The angle between the a bar and b bar is theta. Now I am completing the parallelogram. Draw parallel to this. A bar. Draw parallel to this. This is b bar. Now, if I take up R is making alpha angle with A bar, alpha angle with A bar. Here, alpha angle with A bar. And have the clarity. Theta is the angle between the A bar and B bar. Alpha is the angle of R with A bar. Then automatically from the simple mathematics, clear? From simple mathematics, this is alpha means this becomes also alpha. This becomes also alpha. Then this is what? This is angle is theta minus alpha. Theta minus alpha. So remaining angle is this is theta minus entire thing is theta. Out of theta, if I deduct alpha, theta minus alpha. This is opposite alpha. So theta minus alpha. This entire thing is 180 minus theta. 180 minus theta. So in that triangle, you can make use of the sine rule. Sine rule, you can make use. Clear? So I just highlight this vector. This is I highlight this triangle. This is B bar. Then this is the resultant. This is the A bar vector. Clear? Now this is theta minus alpha. This is theta minus alpha. This is alpha. So observe theta minus alpha and alpha. So total sum of the angles in a triangle will be 1. Clear? Automatically, if you add these two things, this becomes theta minus alpha plus alpha. This is theta. So automatically, the other angle will be this will be 180 minus theta. Now you can apply the sine. A bar, and opposite angle is sine theta minus alpha, sine theta minus alpha is equal to B. Magnitude of B, this is B. The opposite angle is sine alpha and R. Magnitude of R divided by the opposite angle is sine 180 minus theta. This is the application of sine. Yeah. Now, we have summarized all the concepts related to the vectors. Please go through all of them. Carefully apply those concepts in solving the numericals. Hope you have understood in a clear manner. Thank you very much. Please, if you like the channel, please subscribe it and encourage the channel. Thank you very much.